Hey guys, so I have exciting information, and I'm going to start with the exciting information, then I'm going to go into an update, and then I'm going to come back to the exciting information. We moved to California. I know, right? Okay, so let's get back to the update. So, things that have happened since I stopped vlogging. So I'm still working at my old school in this timeline. So the next fun thing, let's see, the last thing I did was I cleaned out my desk. The thing following that, we had a parade for the kids on the last day of school. So nothing exciting really happened. I was just writing newsletters and stuff throughout the rest of the year. And then for the last day of school, the middle school always does a goodbye parade when the buses leave. So all of the teachers stand outside of the school and we wave goodbye to the kids as they go. So we wanted to still give them that. So what we did was we just scheduled a day and a time. So from 10 to 11 a.m. the kids could drive by the school, and all of the teachers were standing outside of the school with posters and streamers and balloons, and there was somebody in a T-Rex costume, and yeah, just waving and stuff. Some of the kids made signs, some of their kids brought their dogs with them. One of them brought their cat, and I lost it. I was like, oh my god, there's a cat in that car. I love this. So yeah, we did that. That was nice because I got to see my friends in person. At this point in COVID world, we had only been Zooming or doing Google Meets and stuff. So it was really nice to get to see everybody in the flesh. We were all masked up and 6 feet apart, but I mean, we got to see each other, so that was good. After that, I got accepted to do summer school. So I got high school and summer school. I got high school and middle school summer school again. So high school, I actually went into the school, and the kids have to be on school property to do this it's not virtual learning, it's a computer-based testing kind of thing that they have to do when they have to make up credits in high school. So they had to come into the school. So there were only 10 kids, but we were in the library, and the library is huge, so they could space out no problem. So I went in for that. I did 1 day a week for 3 weeks. And then after that, I started middle school summer school. And this one was interesting because they gave us the option of whether we wanted to teach virtually or face-to-face. So the county had told us that we could do face-to-face summer school, and the school was using it as an opportunity to see how face-to-face learning would go in the fall. So I signed up to do virtual learning because I still was not comfortable. Didn't know we were moving to California at this point, but I still wasn't comfortable teaching face-to-face. So I signed up for virtual only and got that position. So I started off with one kid, and I was like, this is great. I'm going to be able to just focus on her, and it's going to be amazing. And then 2 days before the school started, I got an email from my summer school principal, and she was like, hey, is it okay if we add 3 siblings to your classroom? And I was like, yes, because if my one student stopped coming, they wouldn't need me, so they would just kind of boot me. Taught all 4 of them for summer school. It was great. The kids had a good time. I actually did get a lot of good feedback from the kids. They said that they had a good time with summer school, and I was like, perfect, because I was flying by the seat of my pants here. However, halfway through summer school, a week into summer school, is when I moved to California. So summer school is 3 weeks long. I did the first whole week in Ohio, and then the last 2 weeks I was in California. Did not tell the kids that I moved because I didn't want it to be a distraction, and I didn't want them to be like, oh, she's in California, she can't do anything about anything. But I told the kids on the very last day, hey, by the way, you're not going to be able to get a hold of me because I'm in California after this, so if you need anything, you got to email somebody else. So summer school finished up, I was in California. Go back just a touch, and let's talk about moving to California. I'm in San Diego now, and I'm so excited, and I love it, and I still feel like an imposter, and I still feel like I'm on vacation, even though it's been a month. but I'm getting used to it, and I really like it. And it's so different from Ohio. Like, when we were moving out here and I was applying for jobs, I was trying to ask our friends who were already out here about like the school system, like, oh, what kind of school is this? Like, is it like this city or whatever? Everything is just so different. And the town sizes and the way everything's laid out is different. Just the lifestyle is different. Like, you really can't compare the two. Not having humidity is amazing. So like this week has been really hot. It's been in like the upper 90s every day. It was 102 the other day. And like, it's hot, but it's not like takes the life out of you hot, which is what it's like in Ohio when it gets hot, because it just gets muggy and sticky and the humidity is just awful. So that has been really nice. Learning to take care of a house is interesting. I've never had to take care of a house. It's so much, like, I was really good about, like, every Saturday I would get up, I would clean the whole apartment, and like I would have all the chores done all the time. Not all the time, but like I would have all chores done, and it would take me like a day to get everything done. It's not how it is with a house. I thought just moving into a house would be like, oh, it's just like upping the scale a little bit, no big deal. It is kind of a big deal, because we also were in charge of like lawn care and paying the water bill. I mean, that's not a big deal, but like I've never had to pay a water bill before. Yeah, so just learning how to take care of a house is very interesting. We have an orange tree in our front yard. Bizarre. I've never lived somewhere, obviously Ohio can't sustain oranges. I've never lived somewhere where I can just walk out into my front yard and pick an orange and make orange juice. It's bizarre. We always have fresh squeezed orange juice, and it's so great. We actually had to take a bunch of our oranges off the tree, and we delivered them to our neighbors with notes saying like, this is where the oranges came from, please come pick our oranges, because we cannot keep up with them. I asked one of our roommates, who she's lived here her whole life, and I was like, so when like do these oranges stop growing? Like, what's their off season or whatever? And she goes, oh, well, they really don't have an off season, they'll just keep growing. Oh, you mean we don't get a break from these oranges? It's like, no, it doesn't happen like that here. Yeah, it's just so crazy how life is so different here. Not so different, but like there are parts of life that are very different. What else? I'm an aunt. I love that little boy so much, and watching him grow over the internet has really sucked. When I left, he was just like this little burrito of a baby, and now I'm looking at him in my sister-in-law's arms, and he's just so big, and he's like learning to sit up by himself, and he's just the smartest baby ever. He's the cutest baby ever. He's just, oh my god, he's so perfect. I love him. And so, interesting fact about me, I do not want kids right now. I don't see myself wanting kids anytime in the near future. Obviously, I'm not going to say never, because things can change or whatever. And if like I was to become a mom right now, I know I would be a bomb mom, and I would love being a mom. I just really like not having kids right now. But I feel like I was born to be an aunt. Like, I stinking love being an aunt, and I've only been an aunt for like a couple of months. And I just like, oh, I cannot wait to go back home and see this baby and play with him. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so I'm an aunt, and I'm watching him grow. And actually today is my sister-in-law's first day back at work since having him, and I feel so bad for her. Actually, so it's like noon here right now, which means it's 3 there, which means she should be getting off of work soon, and she should be going home. So I'm very excited to text her and see how she's doing. Yeah, but I'm an aunt, and there will be plenty of updates about this little baby because I love it so much. What else? I'm going back and forth. I was gonna try and go in chronological order, not happening. A couple of other things that happened while I was still back in Ohio. Frankie got out of the house. Oh my god. Talk about like getting just a taste of what it's like to be a parent. Like, I know this does not equate to being a parent, but I was freaking heartbroken when I found out he was missing. So Scott woke me up around 8 in the morning, and he was like, Frankie's missing. And I was like, still in a daze. I was like, what? Like, that could not have been what he just said. He's like, Frankie got out. And he had, so we kept this was in beginning of May, I think. And I was keeping our windows open at night, and I was really trying not to turn the air conditioning on. And that night, I looked at the window and I thought, I should close that. And I thought, no, Jackie, you can make it a couple more days before you turn the air conditioning on. So I left the window open. And he must have seen a cat outside or something, and he pushed through the screen and got out. He was gone for about 10 to 12 hours. We finally found him in a pile of sticks, like a huge pile of sticks behind our apartment building. He wasn't even that far. We had passed him literally like 10 times while we were like searching for him, but he was just like scared, hiding in some branches, whatever. But like, Scott brought him in. I was so relieved that he was back, because like all I could think was like, what if we never find him? Like, that would be so hard to just, I don't want to think about it. Anyway, so yeah, we found Frankie. Frankie's fine. Frankie's with us in California, and he is loving life. He has a huge window to sunbathe in. He's never actually had a place in a house or an apartment or whatever to sunbathe, and now he does, and he loves it so much. He has a lot of people to play with, and yeah, I'm trying to, well, not currently, but I'm going to try to harness train him so that I can take him outside and he can like play outside and stuff. But we'll see how that goes. One other thing that happened while I was in Ohio was I did a virtual job fair for San Diego before I moved here. So I had just found out, like, Scott was applying to places in San Diego, and we had got like an idea that he was going to get offered a job. Like, he had some interviews and stuff. Scott saw that there was going to be a job fair in San Diego, and I signed up for it and did it, and I'm gonna insert that right here. Hi guys, so I am currently waiting to get into, oh, you can see my dirty laundry. I'm currently waiting to get into a job fair in San Diego. It's like just a blank screen right now. I assume because there's a lot of people and the platform is just inundated right now. We'll see how this goes. I've only ever been to one job fair, and that was at my college right as I was graduating. So this is only my second job fair, and I'm kind of nervous. We'll see, because like, you also have to like initiate conversation in the booths. Like, they're like virtual booths. It's actually really cool how it's set up. It looks like a job fair. There's like actual booths with the schools, and then you go into it and you can like read about their postings and stuff like that. But you have to like initiate conversation, and like, first you start out in chat, like just typing chat, and then the school can initiate either a phone call, like a virtual like voice call, or video call with you. And yeah, like, I don't know what to ask them. Like, I'm out of state, and I've already had one school say that that's the reason they didn't consider me for an interview. They said that my application was impressive, but it was because they consider in-state California licenses over out-of-state. And I'm like, I don't know how true you like the impressive part is. I don't know if you actually think that, but I don't know. So we'll see. There's a bunch of schools from San Diego County that are gonna be in here, so hopefully. Okay, after some technical difficulties and still kind of having loading technical difficulties, I've switched computers. I'm now in a computer with a hard wire, and it's still so slow. Oh, we're in. Okay, looking for jobs now. Let's go. So that happened. Nothing really came of it. It was good experience, I guess, just to kind of get a feel for like things that I would need. But yeah, nothing really came from that. All of my stuff that I've gone through has come from, it's called EdJoin. It's what San Diego uses for their applications. So I guess moving on to job update, nothing. I don't have anything solid. I probably won't have a classroom this year, my own anyway. I just got off of a call, an interview for substitute teaching at a school district in San Diego, and basically what he told me is if the numbers stay the same, that they would be looking to go back in about 2 to 3 weeks probably and doing a slow open. So as it stands right now, they would probably just have, I think he said like 8 to 10 kids in a classroom, and they would go like once or twice a week, and like you would like cycle through all the kids that way. They are going to require their teachers to come back into the classroom, and he told me that he already knows of like 7+ teachers that have already said, I will not come back into the classroom, and I cannot blame them at all. But he said at that point, like, we're just gonna have to assign them a full-time sub, and they're gonna have to take their leave, like their like vacation or sick days, or you know, whatever they have. So he said with the experience that I have, I would be on a short list to be a full-time sub. I don't know what that means for me if they go back to virtual learning, like if numbers start to spike and they go back to virtual learning. Probably contract-wise, it would go back to that full-time teacher. So it's all very like iffy, but I'm like, I need something, and I'm probably not going to get a classroom right now. I had, before this interview, I had a virtual meeting with the assistant superintendent of one of the school systems here, and he was basically telling me, there's nothing wrong with your resume or your application, it's just that there are so many people, and you're going up against people who are veteran teachers, like 5+ years, 15+ years of teaching. You have people who are bilingual, teachers who have like dual certifications, just stuff like that. He's like, it's nothing that you're doing wrong, it's just it's not Ohio anymore. It's very competitive. Not that Ohio isn't competitive, it's just where I was smaller. So I'm probably going to start looking into, I have to get my ESL certification at some point, like within the first year. I have to get my like teacher test done within the first year. So I'm probably just going to start doing that. And then the guy I talked to today suggested that I get my mild to mod, what is it called? Special ed certification or license. So I may do that also. He said you would get hired in an instant, like if you had that mild to mod certification. So I may look into doing that. I've never considered teaching special ed, but I mean, listen, if it'll get me a job, right? And the point he made was basically, as a classroom teacher, you're teaching those kids anyway, because they do inclusive classrooms pretty much everywhere, I guess, in the country, is what I'm guessing. Ohio definitely does. And you have a intervention specialist come in and pretty much co-teach the class. So I might as well just get it, because I'm teaching those kids anyway, right? I hope all of this made sense, and I hope it wasn't too jumbled, but my family and my friends are asking about like how everything's going, and like I want to like document things that are happening, so I really just wanted to start like vlogging again. We'll see how often I do it. I live in a house with 4 other people, and I feel very weird filming myself, so we'll see. But that's me now, so I've been talking for 20 minutes straight. Okay, I'm gonna go now.